to start with two-step. There is a couple of three-step on here. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 three-steps on here. It's just for practice. Okay, three-step is considered multi-step. Okay, so there's one-step, two-step, and multi-step. That's anything more than one. Okay, and so most of two-step are going to be, they follow this rule. Okay, the very first step is usually going to be to add or subtract the number. And we're going to talk about what I mean. Okay, and then your second step is going to be usually to multiply or divide the number. Okay, and there's very specific numbers when we come to this. Okay, now I know this is going to sound crazy the way I'm explaining it, but it has worked in the past multiple. Okay, so there's two pieces to this equation, right? There's this part that's just a number, right? And then there's this part that's a number and a letter. Now, when you guys go, some of you guys probably haven't yet, but like when you go on a date or you go to prom, okay, do you take your little brother or sister? No. No, why not? Get off your damn game. Okay, what about your parents? When they go out on a date, okay, do they take you? Why not? It might be because they don't like you. It might be weird. I don't know what they're doing on their date. Okay, but okay, so every single time your parents, okay, see this, hey, your parents, okay, this 7 and this N, okay, you got a mom and a dad or whatever your family makeup is. Okay, your parents, they always drop off the kid first. So when we need to, the one that has no letter, that's going to be our one that we add or subtract. The one that has no letter. Okay, your parents drop off their kids somewhere, especially if they're a little kid. If they're a teenager, they might leave you at home. But so we're always going to add or subtract the piece that has no letter. Okay. Okay, whatever we do to one side, we got to do to the other. So what we're left with on this side is 7n and negative 59 minus 4. Negative 63. Okay, well then what happens, it's happened to me, and it'll probably happen to you way later on down the road in your lifetime, is especially after you've been with somebody for a while, you're like, oh, where do you want to go to eat? Oh, I don't know, where do you want to go to eat? Okay, and people get into a stupid argument. Like, that's the stupidest argument you could ever get into, but it is stupid. But for some people, that's the last straw of the argument. And they're like, you know, screw this relationship, I'm done. Okay, and so the mom and dad decide to break up. Okay, and so in order to break this up, that's where our multiply or divide is going to be. Okay, and so every single time you're going to take these steps. So we're going to say negative 7 divided by negative 7. Sometimes it's going to be multiply, sometimes it's going to be divide. It just depends. Okay, so we're going to say n equals 9. Okay, there are two steps here. This being our first step, that subtraction of 4. Our second step is going to be that division of 7. Okay, they're two-step equations. Okay, and so if we look at 3, who's the kid? The 3 is the kid. We need to drop off the kid first. And so how do I move a minus 3? Plus 3, plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to have 9n equals 87 plus 3. 90. Okay, and now we need to break up. So how do I break up? We're going to divide by 9. So I got n equals 10. Okay, there are very few instances, and you're going to see them on here, I put them on here on purpose, where the steps change a little bit. So usually we multiply or divide, and then we add or subtract, and multiply or divide. Sometimes it's going to be flip-flopped, okay? And so you can see when we're dealing with a fraction, whatever's like with the x or the variable, okay, is going to be same thing, the mom and the dad, and then we have the kid. Okay, so still we need to move the kid first. So how do I move that 2 off the bottom of that fraction? We multiply, okay? What does a fraction mean?
Divide.
Divide, so we need to multiply by 2. Okay, so we got x plus 1 equals negative 16. Okay, so what's our next step gonna be then? Minus 1. Okay, so we got x equals, and it's gonna be negative 17. Can I scroll? Okay, 7. This is one where, I don't know, some people say it's a multi-step, some people say it's a 2-step. Okay, so what do we do with parentheses? We multiply and or distribute, okay? And we can put in what number goes in front of the B?
1.
A 1. Okay, so your very first step, anytime you see parentheses, is going to be distribute. So negative 2 times 1, negative 2, and there's 1b. And then we got negative 2 times what? Negative 3 is going to be a 6. What kind of 6 though? A plus 6 equals 36. Okay, and now that looks like what we're used to seeing, okay? And who's the kid? The 6 is the kid, and so he needs to move first. Okay, how do I move that 6? Minus 6, minus 6. So I got negative 2b equals what? 30. Okay, and so now we're ready to break up. How do we break that up? We're going to divide by negative 2. So we got b equals negative 15. Okay, look at 9. What do we need to do first? We need to distribute. So we're going to say 9 times what? 1. 9 times 1, 9, and we have 1x. 9 times 8, 72, equals 54. Okay, who's the kid? The 72. Why is the 72 the kid? It doesn't have a letter, okay? The one with no letter is going to be the kid. And so we need to move the kid first. How do I move it? Subtract, yep. So minus 72, minus 72. Okay, so I'm going to have 9x equals 54 minus 72 is what? Negative 18. Okay, now we're ready to break up. How do I break those guys up?
Divided by 9.
Divide by 9. So we got x equals
Negative 2.
negative 2. Oh, shoot. Okay, look at 11. Who's the kid? Negative 9. Why is negative 9 the kid? Yeah, it doesn't have the letter. So see how this, like, they're not like right next to each other, but they are like up and down or whatever. Okay, so that's gonna be our letter. So how do I move the 9?
Add 9.
We're gonna add 9 to both sides. Okay, so I got a over 2 equals negative 13 plus 9, negative 4. Okay, and so now we're ready to break up. So how do I break that up?
Multiply by 2.
we're gonna multiply by 2, why? Yeah, so right now it's divide, okay, and so we're gonna need to multiply by 2, multiplied by 2. So you got A equals -8. Can I scroll? Okay, 13, who's the kid? The -4 is the kid, so we need to move that first. How do I move it? Add 4, add 4. So we got n over 2 equals what? -9. Okay, and so now we're ready to break up. How do I break that up? We're gonna multiply by 2. So I got n equals -18, bless you.